Hi everyone, it is Natalie from Being Intentionally Creative, and today what we're going to do is we are going to officially check out the Lightwish Starry Color series. I included some of the dark green when I did my tray, and we sort of saw it but not really. In another video I will be talking about using it in the polyurethane, but that doesn't really work out for me. So we're officially doing where we're just using it. We're not going to do anything else. We're not putting anything else in. We're just doing it. So what I want to do is we have 5 colors. One is deep purple, dark green, deep blue, deep gold, and dark red. For this project, I'm going to take 3 of these away, so I'm only left with 2. We are going to do the gold and the red. Those are the 2 colors I want to use. And what are we doing them in? Well, Christmas is coming, right? Halloween's coming, and then New Year's. Yeah, it just goes on and on. Anyways, we are going to do 2 trees. I have this one, which holds approximately 60 mils of resin. And I have this little tiny one, which I really think is very cute, which holds about 45 mils. So the bigger one, we're going to do in the red, and the smaller one we're going to do in the gold. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I am going to measure out 60 mils for the tall one. And I'm hoping that I don't have anything left over. I did use my mixer today. And I do have air bubbles. Okay. So let me just check that I don't eyeball. I just, yeah, I think I'm pretty good. Okay. So we are going to probably mix up gold, silver, gold, silver. I'm trying to decide which one I want to do. I think I'm going to do the gold first. So we'll put that off to the side, because I want to use my mixer for both the colors so we can get it mixed in really well. You're supposed to shake these ahead of time, which I have already done. And I'm going to put quite a bit in here. Come on, out. Ugh. The other ones have come out. Okay, I cut the top off of this. I didn't have to cut the tops off of the other ones, but actually I'm not going to cut it. I'm going to use my X-Acto knife. That way I have more control and this thing doesn't go flying across the room or somewhere where I don't want it to be. Okay, much easier. How much do we want to put in there? Quite a bit. I want it to be gold, right? Okay, so I put in quite a few drops, so can you see how that looks? Okay, so we're going to use our blender. And let that mix in really, really well. And I'm realizing now that the one thing I didn't do that I should have done was mix this up by hand, scraping the sides and whatnot. I did not do that. So we're going to see how well that works out for me. I meant to do that and I totally forgot. I was so concerned about getting everything put together for the video that it just totally over my head. So hopefully it did get mixed in well enough. I'll do it around the sides of these 2 colors before I pour them. So I don't know how much you should use of either of these colors. I guess it depends on the intensity you want. And I guess we're going to find out, aren't we? Okay. Trying to stop it. I'm not doing a very good job. The beep sound drives my dog absolutely nuts. She does not like that sound at all. Okay. that back in there. We will right now mix this around the sides. Just because I should have done that. And I just totally forgot. So it's a pretty color all on its own. I guess depending on the intensity you want for your starry sky. Again, intensity, how bright do you want this? So in my last video I mentioned that we finally hit 800 subscribers. I'm very happy about that. I'm now looking forward to working up to 1,000. So it's very cool. So thank you everyone who's watching, who's commenting. And it's awesome. And I am very glad I've gone down to 2 videos a week. This is a lot less, I won't say stressful, it's easier to just be doing 2 videos a week. And I'm very happy about that. And we'll be hitting video 100 in October. This, I believe, will be video 99. All right, we're done with that. And then we go on to video 100 in October. So that's pretty cool too. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, that's my gold. Don't want that again. You know what? Before I do that, give me a stick. We are going to mix this up a little bit just to get around the sides and the edges. I did not warm this up before I mixed it. It's been quite warm in my basement. I've been very good at not having the air conditioner on. I'm introducing bubbles because I have a stick that's not coated in resin, but it is now, so we'll just get that sealed up. So anyways, temperature. It's warmer in my basement, and having a cold, I'm even warmer, which is driving me nuts. But anyway, all right. So let's get some red in here. Okay, about 15 drops. So here's what the red looks like. Hard to see. It didn't disperse. Now I am not going to clean off my beater. I'm going to use the same beater as I did for the gold. And I do want to see about getting the excess resin that's in here in with that before I mix it, so I don't waste any. Just get rid of that. Okay, put that in there, and let's do this one. So this one will have a gold tinge to it, but it'll give us a nice idea of how well these colors sort of play together. Yeah, I don't want to let that go. So depending on the size of container you're using, and can you see that? No, not really. So let me get you in. Depending on the size of container you're using, hold if you're using a mixer. I could put it on the black, but that's even more like a smoother surface even still than the silicone. So yeah, watch when you're doing this that, you know, you pay attention to whether or not it's going to take off, because you do not want to leave this unattended if it's moving on its own. That would be a bad idea. All right. Okay, I'll move that back out of the way, lift this up, let that drip off some. The red's pretty. I don't know if I have as much red in as I have in the gold one I made up, but it's pretty, and maybe less will be a better idea than more. Okay, let that get back in there. So let me throw my packaging and stuff out of the way so we can move on. Let's put that right off to the side. Bring these guys back. So, right, the red is going in the big one. So here's what our red looks like. Hopefully you can maybe make that out. But it's pretty, it's subtle, which I like. I think maybe I went a little overboard with my gold. So we'll pour a little bit into this. And I usually like to go I like to tilt my molds to sort of try and alleviate to the best of my ability any air bubbles. And I also like to coat it a little bit at the bottom. Again, I don't know, makes me feel better, just so I kind of think that it's not creating any air bubbles by coating it, right? I know, it makes total sense to you guys. So I just very carefully roll the resin around so it can get into some of those spots and hopefully not create any air bubbles while it's doing it. A bit time consuming, but I don't know, it makes me feel better. So really impressed with my last video that was under 20 minutes. And I thought, oh, this is going to be a really easy video too, isn't it? Mix some resin up, pour some color in it, and we're done. Yeah, I think I did more of a favor by not putting so much red in this. So for any of you, I know this video is airing Monday, and as you know, I do my videos in advance. So anyone who is down in the Florida area, South Carolina, North Carolina, Nashville, any of those places down there that have been dealing with Helene, the hurricane that hit, I hope you're all safe. If there's anyone who watches who is down in that area, I hope you're safe. I hope you, your family, I hope you're safe. I was up watching some of the storm, when I say that, on CNN, because I have family that is in Nashville. I did send them a message. I haven't heard back as of yet that they're okay. So maybe at the point of videoing this, that they haven't seen the storm as of yet. But I just hope people are safe. And that the weather, it dies down quicker than not dying down. So I hope everybody's safe. Okay. I think this is going to look really pretty. It's going to be one of those just subtle, the light will catch it in just the right way. Alright, so we're almost at the top with this. And it's going to be curious. I think the other interesting thing that's going to be with this is how it, stays within the resin. Right, because we know we can put glitter in and it sinks to the bottom. So it's going to be curious to know if this does that. Like whatever they've got in here, if it sinks, or hopefully it doesn't. I mean, I wouldn't want it sinking all to one spot. But that's going to be the interesting part about this. So. I don't know that I have enough here. Anyway, I don't think I have quite enough for the red. We are close. We are close. We are close. So let me just clean out the container. No, you're fine. Oh, so when I say you're fine, my puppy dogs come down to see me. So apparently, something has freaked her out a little bit. And it's like, well, Mom can't help you out right now, baby girl. Can't help you out right now. So she's gone back upstairs. Okay, well, we may end up, if I have too much of the gold, we may end up putting that in with the red. I'm almost there. Like, I am so close to that being full, but yeah, I'm a little shy on the red. I got a couple of air bubbles, but I'll deal with them in a moment. So now I'm just going to mix this gold up a little bit more. Trying to figure out what the sound was. My dog's upstairs digging a hole to China. She's gone underneath somewhere and now she's just digging. Too funny. Anyway, okay, so let's do this one. I'll just move this off to the side. Alright, let's start with the gold, and we'll roll this one too, because this one's got some intricate spots to it, like more facets to it. So I do want to be more careful with this one. And here's hoping that we have enough for it. I mean, it's not going to be a big deal with the red one if I don't have enough for it, because it's close enough to the bottom that it's not really going to have too much of an impact. Okay, I'll squidgy that a little bit. I almost sometimes don't like doing that because I'm almost afraid of my introducing air bubbles by doing that. I don't know. So I think the gold's going to be more intense than the red. And my gloves are sticking to me like crazy. I had my black gloves on. Oh man, they got so hot that when I went to put them back on again, I said, I can't do this. Like I can't handle putting my hands back into wet gloves, and yet these blue ones are just stuck to me. So I feel for surgeons and nurses that have to wear gloves during surgery, because I think, oh my gosh, you're like, yeah, I don't know how you pull it off, but okay. Because I mean, these are stuck to me. Ugh, and I hate that. But anyway, they protect my hands, so that makes them a good thing. All right, let's get the rest of this in here without knocking over the red one. And I think I just have enough for this one. And if, like I say, if we have any left over, I will put it in the red one. This is where I'm being very conscious of what I'm doing, because I don't want to knock anything over. Yeah, we just had enough for that. I think because I've got what I've got in the gold, I'm going to put whatever little leftovers I can get into the red one, just to up it a little bit. A couple of mils more. All right, so these are going to sit now for 24 hours, give or take. And then we will take these out and we'll see. And I'm just going to roll that around in there a little bit so it's not so, I mean, it's on the bottom, so it's really not going to matter, but I just want to sort of mix it in a little bit so it's not so obvious that I dumped the leftover gold into it. So we will be back to see how these two turned out. I'm excited about that, and I'm glad I'm finally doing it in just regular resin and not, you know, not putting anything else in with it. And we'll see if it would be better to put less in than more. I mean, I think the gold's going to be really pretty, and it's going to be very intense, though. So you're going to have to decide, do you want it intense or do you not? Now, thinking about that for a second. I have a little bit of resin left. So let me just, I was thinking, I forgot about my mixer. So we'll just use what's in the bottom of this as well. It's helping out a little bit. All right, that's the end of it. No more. So I will clean up and we will come back and take these out of the mold when they're done. And we'll just see how well the Lightwish Starry looks. I will see you then. We are ready to take these two trees out of their molds. So I'm quite excited to see how they look. Now, I had mentioned that the gold, I put a lot more gold in than I feel I did of the red. So from the perspective of how the bottoms look, I would definitely say that the gold is more intensified than the red, which doesn't surprise me at all. Let's see how it worked with the rest of it. And how I did on my air bubbles, which with some of these pieces, I mean, it's a real hit and miss just because of how things go down into the mold. So, excuse me. Okay, so here's our gold. Bringing out my black. I don't know if that's going to help or hinder. So here's the gold. It's a pretty color. Again, I may have intensified that way too much to really have it do what it's meant to do. Granted, I don't have a comparison. I don't know what or how this is really supposed to look in the grand scheme of things. I do have some air bubbles. Yeah, I have air bubbles. Not too bad, but I do have air bubbles in this. Okay, let's get the red one out. I may have to put that in a different color. That's not really coming out very well, is it? Got white back there. We'll have to see if white will be better. There we go. I think I'm almost starting to think that less is better than putting more in. Oh yeah, I like that better. I hope you can see that. Yeah, I definitely think I got way too much gold in there. Oops, as I knock them together. Let's bring my orange out, but turn it to the white side. So there's our gold. And then, like I said, too much. I think I put too much of the gold in there, and it sort of takes away from what it's supposed to do. This sort of starry sky. I think I did much better on the red. Like you can see it, but it's not in your face. It's subtle. So you may not, maybe you can, hopefully you can. So when it's sitting there by itself, you can pick out that there's something in it, but it's not as intense when you're just sort of looking at it. It's like, ooh, that's a cool looking color. And I don't know what it might be like in the sunlight, or if it had a more subtle light bouncing off of it. But I kind of like the red better, because when you turn it like this, you can see the red. But when you put it like this, it's not as noticeable. It almost looks gray in color. But depending on how you start looking at it, you can see the red in it. So I would definitely sort of caution, how intense do you want this to look when using it? Because this is really intense, this small one. And I mean, even again, the bottom says how much more intense the gold is than the red. It's kind of cool though. I definitely just do it by itself, because as I found, mixing it in with a color, I mean, you can kind of see it, but you don't get the effect of it. Whereas if you just do it with a clear resin, then you're getting to see it, and that's kind of cool. So I do want to try out the other colors now to see what they do. But there you have it. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. So thank you for joining me. We have officially bypassed the 800 subscriber mark. So thank you all very much for that. Very excited about that. We're going to now count our way up to 1,000, which is my next milestone, if you will. Yeah, so thank you for watching this video. It was nice to finally try the Lightwish Starry Color series without, like just plain resin. I think it's cool. Like I say, I'll do more pieces now and try the other 3 colors just to see how they turn out, and I'll be less, I'll be not so heavy with the colorant in it, and I kind of would like to try 2 colors together to see what they will do. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Again, thank you for subscribing, liking, and commenting. I appreciate it all. And I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye for now.